Thank you for listening. I've been Bohdan Piasecki. Talk to me after, I'll tell you things. It's called Almost Certainly. It's almost certainly impossible to appreciate the sheer beauty of an explosion. I like to think of it as an intricate game of pinball, with a single atom suddenly propelled forward, bouncing back and forth, losing electrons and hurtling through the huge gaps in what we see as a solid thing, a unit, like a grain of gunpowder, say. Until suddenly, multiple. With a flash of many-colored light, all the other come alive, and then things become much too fast to follow as they turn nervous and frantic and twitchy, and as they twist and tumble together, they leave behind them trails of searing light and weave them into the shape of a flower you can only see bloom once. And it's almost certainly unbearable to try and hear the music and the noise of an explosion, but I like to think of it as that moment in a song when the bass line finally kicks in. After the introductory clicks and clacks of the drumsticks smack the edge of the snare and the closed hi-hat, and yeah, we've all heard far too many songs not to know what's coming, but still, when the muffled chords explode with unfettered power, triggered by the kick drum, they reach through your throat, down to your stomach, and they squeeze tightly. You can never be ready for this. And it's almost certainly immaterial what the weather was like at the time of an explosion. But in my mind, I see an old sepia snapshot of a perfect summer afternoon. With the weather all the better because you have to conjure up your own blue for the sky, come up with your own white for the clouds, your faded red for the bricks, your brown for those strange stains on the pavement. And there are no people in the picture, because the exposure was too long, so just here and there, a hand that lingered on a doorknob or a hesitating foot, just a blur. And it's almost certainly irrelevant. One life lost in an explosion. But I like to believe that someone refuses to acknowledge numbers like 200,000 or 85%, and instead they chronicle meticulously the pattern of displaced cobblestones, the frantic flight of startled birds, and the words still legible and letters spilling from a leather bag, and the balletic grace of a body flying slowly through the air and trailing blood like an afterthought on this perfect summer afternoon. And they will know that she was 29, that she hadn't seen her two sons for a week, that she had written a love letter to her husband in the morning, that she woke up lightheaded that day, believing against all evidence that this time things will work themselves out. And I like to believe that just before the shrapnel hit, she stopped for a moment, balancing on one foot with her hand on the doorknob, thinking she had just heard the beginning of a song. Thank you very much.